A lot of things that this man today, in a serious, I don't know this judge, what is the plan of this judge? Because every time when people are trying to show him, and every time when the people are trying to show him the mistakes, he always try to interrupt other people. So it is important, everyone that is seated here, that if Kelly is a mastermind, he must be taken now. He must be taken now because he's enjoying a life while other people are suffering. Thank you, Sis Brenda. If there's any question, we'll hear.
Tabang, tell me, do you think Mtoko and like everyone was in the house, do you think they knew about this plan?
For me, it's what I've said yesterday. For me, I don't want to sound like a gossip or not. But for me, I feel like everyone knows about this matter. They even if they didn't know, it might have, if it's something that has happened and they were told, good, no, don't say anything, we'll take care of everything. Hence, they change statement each and every day. Their statement are not constant. For example, he said he jumped over the wall and the young man asked him, he said, no, I'm not a thief. I'm not anyone. I'm not one of the people that are the intruders and all the stuff. And he jumped back. When they asked him, why did you jump back? He said, I've heard the voice of Kelly's mother. Is then I go back to the house. And now when he go back to the house, on the other statement, he said him and Kaya jumped the wall and go inside. So for me, there is no consistent. On the other hand, he said he told Kaya and his father that there were people that ran to the park. As he says so, there were people that ran to the park. And then Kaya, on his statement, he said, when we were questioning him, he said, Umpagati said there were people that ran. So for me, all the statements are not consistent. And for me, this case, most of the people might think that people can be jailed, but unfortunately, with smaller things, smaller mistake, people can come out scot-free then. With smaller mistake. And I want to tell people that are here, I'm not fighting. It's the way I speak. I'm sorry. I'm a preacher. And I'm a motivational speaker. So it's the way I speak like that. I'm sorry if you feel offended that maybe I'm not emotional. I'm relaxed. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Okay. No, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tabang.
Thank you.
And people, let's stop using those crying emojis. I don't know what's happening with TikTok. They really hate these emojis. They will even block this live. So please, let's try to avoid that. Let's use other emojis, please, guys. And again, let's keep on tapping. We are on 166. And we've been, the likes been so slow. I don't know what's happening. Let's just try to appreciate this live. And if does well, guys, I also appreciate it. As Carlos
Sorry, before Carlos Brenda. Sorry. Mabane, we spoke about the crime scene, and somebody said crime scene is not important and all the stuff. Did you hear today the importance of crime scene? Where was Senzo lying? Where was Senzo? Those are the most important things, because if you miss it at the crime scene, there is a sketch. In fact, on the docket, there must be a sketch. There must be a sketch that is put there to show where Senzo was lying and all the stuff. So those are the things that are important. Where was Senzo lying? Where was this? Those things are important because the expert that is coming will be able to tell the position of the falling. When the person is shot this way, is going to fall this way and all the stuff. Those are the things that are important. Crime scene statement, smaller things that people think they're not important. And today I wanted to tell everybody that don't allow yourself to go to court without you reading the statement. Your statement is very much important. The crime scene also it must link with what you have written on the. So it is important. So what this man said today, I was so shocked. For me, it was a shocking. Yeah. And then it will go a long way. Thank you, Sis Brent.
Thank you so much, Tamang. Thank you. Skalusam.
Good evening, Brenda. Good evening, Prateni. Good evening to the listeners today.
Evening.
Good evening to my that I won't mention. Good evening, Dineo. Yeah. Okay. I just want to start by saying sometimes people hold a core belief that is very strong. When they are presented with evidence that works against that belief, the new evidence cannot be accepted. It will create a feeling that's extremely uncomfortable, called cognitive dissonance. And because of it is so important to protect the core belief, they will rationalize, ignore, even deny anything that doesn't fit in with the core belief. That's what's happening right now.
Yes.
Togo, when he started yesterday, he was like, he wanted to know something, he wanted to tell South Africa something. But somehow he decided to take a detour. I'm just gonna, why I'm saying that is because of when he was asked today how many cell phones Senzo owned, he said, no, there was an iPhone, but not iPhone Pro, not iPhone 14 Pro, the one that I'm holding. No, it's just an iPhone. And he was using 2 SIM cards. That's when they caught Mto's lies. Senzo was using 2 phones. And for the record, one of the cell phones that was in the house was never handed over to the police. I don't know if you know that, but I'm telling you, that's what happened. Secondly, Tabang Makilane and Siphiwe Ngwenya, who were sitting on the street corner that night, are both dead. Both crucial witnesses are dead. Those who don't know, Siphiwe Ngwenya was shot. Tabang was allegedly poisoned. Tabang's girlfriend was told to clean his room where he died and throw everything away. Those were crucial witnesses. And thirdly, the senior police officers who arrived at the scene that night, what they were doing exactly, we need to question that. What were they doing exactly? Who was in charge of all the police that were there at night? And why no statements were taken from all the cops that came to the crime scene? Why there are no statements? Because there were lots of police there. So those questions are very, very, very important. And NPA, they must tell us which of the 2 investigating teams they recognize and why. Why I'm asking this question is because there are 2 dockets. And the docket of sets of different, let's just say, suspects. I don't like to call them, the accused, right? Yes, we are hearing the story about the mastermind, and remember, Pratini, there was a 150K reward. You remember that 150K? What happened to that 150K reward? You know, and we need to ask ourselves a question: who was the original lead investigator in this case, and why was he or she removed? Why they haven't disclosed that information? Who took over from him or her? And again, why was he or her removed from this case? Who are the names of Senzo's killers that his own father, Sam, gave to the police in May 2015? Who was his source? Remember, Sam Mayiwa disclosed, and he said he knows Senzo's killers. Someone gave Sam the names of the killers, and to show that this is personal. This is I can call it a passion of crime. Why I'm saying it's a passion of crime? Remember, Senzo's tombstone, it was vandalized in 2020. that cemetery, it's got the security guards. Yeah? And the security guards, they are there 24 hours. But Senzo's tombstone, it was vandalized for what? You don't know. And no one was never arrested in 2020. To show that this, it was not just, a hit on Senzo. Those suspects who are there on the dock, they might have provided an ammunition, but they never shot Senzo. Someone in the house there shot Senzo. There were no intruders. We just, this story of saying there were intruders, there were no intruders. Senzo's phone was used more than 24 hours after he was killed. And why only one phone? It was stolen on that night, while there were, 8 different phones, including that iPhone that I'm talking about, that Senzo owned. So there are more questions that the defense team is missing here. One of the examples, they only ask Mto one question, not one question, but the crucial question that they are missing is that Longwe ran out. The Polo was parked behind the X6 or X6. Who drove that Polo away? Because of Longwe ran, and he ran with the keys, obviously. But who decided to move that vehicle? The defense team, they are missing a crucial question to the witness, and I don't know. And I'm telling you, tomorrow, even Msholole, he's going to miss that question. I don't know why they cannot question, like, who moved that red Polo? And again, I don't know if you know this story. Tumelo Madlala, after he was taken to Senzo's grave in the middle of the night. He was taken to his grave. I don't know what to do, but he was taken there. Remember, he never attended the funeral. He was banned from attending that funeral. So just for the last question, who visited General Philani Ndlovu hours before he died, and what did they want from him? Someone visited that police officer, Philani Ndlovu, and why there were no statements from him explaining what happened on the night Senzo was killed. What's going to happen here is that Sergeant Musia is going to pin everything on him. I'm waiting for Musia, and I hope that you are recording this. Sergeant Musia will be blaming Philani Ndlovu regarding this.
Summarize.
Yeah. I know that, today I'm cruising. Yeah, I know. and just to summarize, the crucial evidence here also is that there's a debate where Senzo died. Was it in the dining room, between the sofas, someone's car, or at the hospital? There are so many questions there. Senzo died in the house, and that's the